back in their trucks, so that's going to be there for a while. As far as we've been talking, or we've been hearing, no injuries to no injuries to civilians, no injuries to any of those firefighters.
All right, Stu, thank you so much for getting us caught up to speed on this. Again, if you're just now tuning into the Fox Local stream, we have been reporting on a second alarm fire happening at a warehouse in Fullerton. Our Sky Fox's Stu Mundell has been giving you these live pictures that you see here of this massive response to this, and firefighters have been making great progress on this warehouse. Again, what we're still working to learn from maybe Rachel Aragon when she gets on the ground, from a public information officer, or maybe our assignment desk as well, is exactly what warehouse this is. So that information we will continue to try to learn.
Big fire.
Stu, we appreciate you more than you know. We are going to go to break while we hope to learn more information. Well, it looks like the break is not going right now. So, Stu, unfortunately, we are going to continue this stream. So, Stu, if you can, it looks like, okay, producer Jasmine's able to hop on and take us to break. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with more news.
Sounds like an idiot.
Keep you updated on this second alarm fire at a warehouse
Producer
here
Jasmine's
in Fullerton.
getting fired. Poor producer Jasmine. Doesn't know what she's doing. Gonna lose her job. Honestly, I think they kind of second banana. I have no idea. I think they second banana the streaming stuff. So I think whoever happens to be, you know, the intern that day. Are you not going to do what I want, you piece of shit? Why are you not working? Why are you flipping out? What is going on? Oh, I love it now. My keyboard, for some odd reason, is not working. That's great. Here we go. Oh, well, I go look for another feed of the Fulton fire from another station that's not stupid and doesn't realize that they're streaming and they don't need to cut to a commercial break. It lights up multiple colors, so I don't know if it's a union issue. Multiple firefighters out there right now. No audio there. I'm trying to find a scanner of the area. Yeah, the keyboard kind of lights up different colors. This angle does look better too, but now I need some background noise. To get the background noise, I could do the scanner. I don't know how big that airport is. It could be. Could be a small regional airport. I don't know much about that area. But I would assume. If they need gas, they could just land right next to it and take off again. So the scanner's on now, Fullerton also. I'm just waiting for it to chime in. It does look very small, yes. Though I wouldn't be surprised maybe there's another one on the other side for takeoffs. Or maybe it's all the same one. I don't know. Building a meth lab? That would be my guess. That would be my first guess. This stream was brought to us by the nice folks over at, let me know, at GTLA Airwatch. That was very nice of them to let me know what was going on with their handy dandy website. Fox back? Fox is back. Let's all put up all the streams for me and you. They have a very beautiful sunroof, that's right.
Information for us throughout this afternoon stream and of course later on our broadcast as well. But you can see this firefight is continuing to be active with firefighters still battling the fire on the roof. But a lot of progress has been made throughout this, right, Stu?
A lot of progress indeed. They got the 3 fire departments that are out there still actively battling these flames. You've got Fullerton Fire. Those are the original ones that responded out here when the first trucks arrived. They said they had fire through the roof and they bumped it up to a second alarm very quickly. Now, what the second alarm consisted of was at least one truck from Anaheim Fire that you see right there made their way onto the Fullerton Airport. Now, that portion of that warehouse that we're seeing, not a part of the actual Fullerton Airport, but that's how they got access to it. You can see that building that they're basically got the ladder pipe over right there. That's all going to be a rows of hangars for small aircraft that make their way.
Well, there you go, small
at
aircraft
the Fullerton Airport. That truck right there, Anaheim Fire. But you also had Brea joining the firefight as well. A lot of those ladders not being used because they basically either didn't need them or they would have just kind of more got in the way. You can see that some of the Brea Fire Department right there.
They usually work with tar pits,
now,
I hear.
You can see what's going on live right now. It's going to be water still being dumped onto the portion of that warehouse where the roof has collapsed. I guess just from the way we're looking at it, that this building has a fire break or wall built right in there, right along where I'm panning, and that's the reason why those flames did not spread to the other portion of the roof and that building. But the portion where it was on fire, sad to say, pretty much a complete loss. Water still being dumped into there. Firefighters still being told not to make their way inside that building until they can get a lot of those hot spots taken care of. Pretty much they're going to wait till that smoke really stops coming out.
I don't know. They didn't say what's inside. I'm guessing meth lab.
Now, there is a lot of caution tape been put up. Now, I'm not sure if that is there for possibilities of ignition points or maybe wires down. When we first arrived out here, we saw some trucks that were from DWP or Edison or some kind of utilities that were parked there. So that might be the reason why they put that tape up. Either that or maybe it's an ignition point. Right now, all that investigation on how that fire started and what the cost is going to be, that's going to be taken care of after those flames are out and the fire department basically is really truly rolled up their hoses and kind of making their way out of here for the most part. I
don't think it was a fish market that got fired.
All happening. That's a busy street out here in the Fullerton area, and it's definitely going to be closed in both directions along the Fullerton Airport while that firefight is active. Now, that doesn't mean as soon as that smoke stops coming up that all those trucks are just going to vanish out of there. They're going to be there for some time. So if Commonwealth is on your drive or you're going to think about driving in that area, keep that in mind. You're going to have to make your way around that for sure. Coco, you did mention that there are some homes right across the street. Definitely not under any kind of threat or any kind of mandatory evacuation or shelter in place. None of that at all. The only thing that we did see at some point were some people mistakenly driving into that roadway right there. That is a cul-de-sac. Right now, though, not seeing that kind of activity. People trying to get around that firefighting activity. As far as the building itself, still trying to work out what it is. The last things that we could figure out via the Google, as it would be, thank goodness for Google, is that it was some sort of shoe warehouse or shoe sales place. Capri, I think, was the name. Right now, though, we're still kind of figuring that out. Businesses change hands quite often, but it definitely does look like it was some sort of business where they use or customers make their way in and out of it just because of that parking lot that we see. As far as any injuries, none. And that's amazing work from all those firefighters that are out there. And yes, the smoke continues to bellow a little bit out of there. Most of that, I would guess, is going to be steam. They're waiting for less of that, then they'll make their way inside that building, start putting out those hot spots. And then, of course, like we said, cost and cause, that kind of information probably going to be given to our ground reporters, maybe Rachel, for later on in the newscast this early evening.
Yes,
The
Stu,
damn bat
definitely
suit
great
strikes again.
firefighting from all of the firefighters on the ground. So we thank them so much for their hard work here in Fullerton. Second alarm fire at a warehouse. We'll work to learn exactly what warehouse that is. But Stu, we want to thank you so much for all of your expertise, all of your reporting. Also, shout out to your pilot as well. We appreciate you sticking with us on the Fox Local stream, giving us all the information, of course, on this breaking story as it continues to develop.
You're welcome, Coco, and you know I said it all the time. Love the Skybox, love the internet, and I also love that we're in the beginning stages. This is all, someday we're going to look back and we'll talk about, remember when it all started, and it's very exciting to be here at that point. Coco?
It is, and it's so important to bring people the news exactly when it
Does
happens.
she have a white
as
sister
it's
named
happening,
Vanilla?
Especially for, of course, those residents that live near this warehouse in Fullerton or people who were headed to the area. It's important to make sure they have the information. West Commonwealth Avenue, of course, closed in both directions. So thanks again, Stu. We're going to now go to something else as we continue to monitor this. We know, of course, that our Rachel Aragon will be headed to that scene and will be learning more information for us on the ground. But now we want to get to this news as well. This happened earlier. So earlier in the stream, we were telling you about a press conference that happened with LA Mayor Karen Bass along with other representatives. And we paused that interview, that press conference, because we wanted to get to the breaking news. So now
Fox is like, we're not airing that. We're not gonna do it. Not happening. We're just gonna drop that stream. It does look well under control, yes. Doesn't look like it's going to be that bad.
Now, Southern California's news leader, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
We have breaking news at 11:30. The Lakers could be under new ownership.
No one cares. Keep your tax evasion schemes to yourself. I don't care. It is Wednesday, my dudes. How is everyone doing today? Hope you're all having a very fantastic day today. I was not expecting to be on, but then I saw the fire. Could be insurance fraud. Could be a meth lab. Could be a lot of stuff. Could be a homeless guy that was cooking some beans. Got it in control. The fire near me, apparently, they're saying it was from after hours logging. The entire team's joined in at WNBA, yes. I lost my train of thought. The hell I was talking. Oh yeah, so the fire near me, they're trying to say under after hours logging, and it caught fire because of a not working water tender. And I think that's complete bullshit, personally. I don't believe that whatsoever. Yeah, right? Sure thing. Totally what happened. Totally. Columbia is still pulling people out of the rubble. The death toll has climbed significantly. But unfortunately, I don't know, again, how many people they're going to find and pull out of there. Kind of a sad thing. Oh, God damn it, mouse. Do what I want. You son of a bitch. Let's see. I'm going to get this guy off because he looks like Jeff the Killer. Well, the problem is there's too many balls on the court in the women's b-ball. I personally think most sports are just stupid to watch, but, you know, each to their own. I feel like if I wanted to go watch a bunch of men run around and get sweaty, I'd just watch gay porn, but apparently some of you are in the closet, and this is the only way of getting off. That's a joke, son. A joke.
Retro bridge is ready. Anything. We're going to be returning back to Brea. Hey, copy.
That really surprised you, though? Like, sorry, I just put the memo out there. I'm sorry. What do you think is the fruitiest sport? Like, if you had to go pick one out and be like, that their sport is the worst. Hey, Bio. We're talking about what the fruitiest sport is out there. What's one sport that you catch your friends watching, you kind of give them the side eye like, are you gay? Are you trying to tell me something? Bodybuilding? I would say bodybuilding can get kind of fruity. I think UFC's gotten a little weird. I think some of the UFC is just, you know, just dudes just rubbing against each other. I mean, when you hit over 40, playing flag football, I think might kill you for some of those people. Yeah, last time I watched the, UFC, I was like, man, this sucks. Like, I'm not digging this.
That is true. That is the math. That is the facts. But look at this. Numbers. 228, 170, 90. Number one most valuable number on this board. $1 billion tonight's Powerball lottery. This is the lucky star.
I got a Powerball ticket.
People have been coming in all morning long.
If I hit a $1 billion, I will do a $1 million giveaway.
Sales have been really brisk. We've been here, and since 6 a.m. this morning, they have sold more than $8,000 in tickets. That's just in the last few hours, and the lines are starting to build. Now, this store has a lot of history. 10 years ago, as Philip said, the $1.6 billion was won here. They were one of a few other tickets, but still, it was a $528 million jackpot. That's pretty good. Everybody is just hoping, what would it be like to win $1 billion?
I would give $1 million away to my chat.
Imagine winning $1 billion. It'd be amazing.
I don't think I would give out 1 million to one person. I think I'd give out like 100,000. Or what I would do is I would see how many of you would want to fight each other with a knife for my own amusement. I'm just kidding. Kinda. You'd give I would not let you give me a $1 million super chat. That would not happen. You know why? Because YouTube would take $400,000 of it. Are you in for the knife fight or for the Whitney? I would probably break it up like, I don't know, one $500,000, one $250,000, and then the rest some smaller amounts. I should have had Yuffie go pick up another one when she's out getting groceries. By the way, it's grocery day. If you guys want to donate, so we can buy, make sure I can cover all the groceries. I think they still have rollerball. I thought. I want the sport from Alita. There you go. Why not bet on a race against a cop? Like a foot race? That's a kukri. Is that a knife, or would you count that as more of a machete at that point? I don't know. I don't know, man. Why would I assume the cop's going to bring up a knife? The cop's going to bring up a car that he uses for his squad car. When's a dude has a Ferrari that he's just been sitting on? And unlike most people, cops are used to driving fast. They say it's a knife. I don't know, man. Those kukris are great. They're good, like, tools for out in the woods. Slap fan? I would say watching people get slapped in the head's pretty fun. I'm beginning to think Spank has never actually been in a car. Some of the stuff you say, boy, was making me wonder. Hold on, officer, before we race. I have to go and modulate my car like it's a video game. Facts. All jokes aside, that's not my pencil. Where the hell is my pencil? So I can write these down. I guess I use these little crappy ones so I found it actually. Spank, go videotape yourself racing the cop. Then you can prove me wrong. What's up, Niels? Hey, Niels, we have to talk about your bestiality fetish with Bigfoot, by the way. People were telling on you. I'm guessing Niels was very intoxicated one night, and they were having a discussion, I guess, about Bigfoot. I was not there for this conversation. Yeah, but it's still an animal. Like, I know Bigfoot's supposed to be like a cryptid, right? But it's still maybe he wants Bigfoot to do stuff to him. Oh, where did my pencil go? I need it so I can write shit down. My point I'm making, Niels, is regardless, however you try to justify it, at the end of the day, it's a beast. It's a mammal. It's a mammalian animal that's in the woods. Well, shit the bed. What the hell happened? Oh, there's a notepad I wanted to. I didn't have a light to look around here. I had to grab the one on my gun. murder charge for Meathead. I guess they're trying to get that crazy bitch who like lined up all of her children and like strangled them one by one off for being like a nutcase. And look, ladies, I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm going to stick by this. If you are on your period, that is not an excuse to be an abusive a-hole towards your man. For any reason, like just because your emotions or hormones and shit are all through the roof, no excuse. Same thing they're trying to get with this bitch who strangled all of her kids. Post depression or whatever the hell she's trying to say. No excuse. Sorry. I don't care how much you're craving a peanut butter pickle sandwich. No excuse. I know, I'm so mean. I'm such a mean man. By the way, men can't have periods. Apparently, some VTuber got really upset, or someone got mad at this VTuber because all she said is, men can't have periods. That's all she said. Men can't have periods. And during that, your small penis makes it bleed? What? I'm trying to find the clip of her saying it. That's Akko. Oh, where are you, you gremlin? Also, apparently Melanie Mack is going off the deep end and eating butter, sticks of butter in her car. Like, I understand Melanie Mack was unfortunately hanging around with the quartering, but, like...
You know, one of the biggest problems with society today is that we're celebrating mental illness. Bipolar, borderline personality disorder, ADHD, feminism. People are celebrating this stuff when we should be treating it. You know, one of the big
people are pretty sure she's having like a mental breakdown. As again, she just sits there eating a stick of butter in the car. Now, I have a feeling she's going to come out and be like, I'm doing keto or something like that. But it's like, you are literally eating a stick of butter in the car. Old Man River. Where the hell is that damn video? That's why I'm going to put my videos to the side. Also, apparently, I put a video of someone vomiting. So apparently, also the British people, while I'm looking for something else, I can talk about this. Apparently, the good old Brits out there made a mistake. They decided that they're going to buy shit from China, right? They thought that was a really good idea. They're going to buy their drones from China. Well, their drones are giving away heartbeat signals, which is little pulses, telling where stuff's at, of their drones to China. Isn't that nice? That's really good for a military vessel, right? That put out a signal that literally gets sent out to somebody else. There it is. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure the flock cameras are definitely giving out signals to somebody they were not supposed to be giving them to. But again, a lot of these people, they kind of want this dystopian society because they think it's going to make them safer. All right, so this character, this is Yukiwaru, self-described chaotic gremlin VTuber who went off on a full-throttle rant against the whole trans mafia. The main points being made, and this is from Emerald Apple, who put this out. Sexuality is an identity. Biological men can't get pregnant or have periods. Pride events are degenerates and are not kid-friendly. Against the use of forced pronouns, adults pushing gender ideology on kids is a form of grooming. Trans women should not be allowed in women's spaces like bathrooms. She's that straight white woman currently have no right. She says that she shared about how she's a tomboy, and in the past she's briefly wanted to be like her brother, and that does not make her a man. So that this is from writings by Emerald Apple over there. So that's the character. Character came out and said, "Hey, all you men out there, you can't get a period if your asshole's bleeding. That's probably because you have an anal infection. Probably should go get that looked at." And on top of it, getting your wing dang doodle knocked off. The only VTubers I can watch is Wolf and Nux. Well, I'm happy I'm one of those. Hopefully one day I can get more. Hopefully one day I can get more awesome people like you who are like, I don't really watch VTubers, but I'll watch you, which will be cool. Is this gay? I don't know. Do you like to taste a penis in your mouth? That would be my question. Do you get erect by another man? All those things are kind of gay. Oh, I'm just a big lover over here. Isn't it funny? I started talking about this VTuber and I started getting people in here. Oh, weird. Yeah, like, so if you get the surgery and you get your dick cut off and then they sew it and then make some sort of fold up inside your body, that doesn't make you magically grow a uterus, right? You don't get menstrual cycles. You get nothing. You just got a hole there. I guess they said they could take the nerve endings and reverse them so you can actually get some pleasure during sex. But from every study that's been out there, all of them say like, yeah, it doesn't do anything. It's just there. So, I mean, you're not a woman. You're somebody who had a surgery. Like, it's not the future where you can go have, well, you don't have a uterus, you don't have ovaries, you don't have fallopian tubes, right? You still have a prostate located up your ass. All those things. I would not defer to Pfizer right now. Oh, Perez, sorry. For some reason I thought you said Pfizer. Right, now you have a patient for life, right? And that's the long and short of it, right? That's long and short of it. Is there's nothing else in there? There's nothing else in there that comes out and says, you know, you're going to be a woman from this. And apparently that makes people mad. Makes people very mad. You left a Hot Pocket at JCPenney sofa once? That's gross. I don't know if the government's paying people to do this. I think it's mental health doing this. I think that there's people out there who see dollar signs and they say, hey, look, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make a bunch of money off of stupid people, right? We're going to go out there and say, hey, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this person and we're going to make them a forever patient, right? And we're just going to blow smoke up their ass for the next coming of Christ, and people are going to believe it. And so people are saying that her VTuber was quote unquote transcoded because the color of the trans flag was probably purposely added to her by her artist, perhaps thinking they would groom them into being a trans ally, allegedly. So, and again, she can come out there and say what she wants. Sexuality is an identity. That's true. You going out there and being like, this is who I am. Oh, okay. Like, do you do anything else? Do you have any sort of, I don't know, fun? No, I literally am just this. My entire life is this, right? I'm a trans person and I'm a trans and that's all I am is trans. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I can't really identify with that because I'm a straight white guy, but good luck to you. You do what you want to do. But yeah, biological men can't get pregnant or have periods. Both true. Pride events are degenerates and not kid-friendly. Also true. I mean, the Pride Parade in San Francisco used to have people standing on top of buildings jerking off onto the crowd until the cops kind of were like, hey, you got to knock that shit off. That's disgusting. And there's people's kids walking around. Now, I don't know who thought that was a good idea to bring your kid to the Pride event when the Pride events were, again, started celebrating not just their being gay, but people coming out there being like, hey, you know, we're going to start celebrating all our weird fetishes out in the street. And you got some poor kid out there, right? That's not okay. What else did she say? Gets use of forced pronouns. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you want to be called. People can call you whatever the hell you want. That's how stuff goes. No one has to call you by your pronouns. Nobody has to demand that, right? Like, you're your own human being. If somebody's willing to use your pronouns, that is a respect issue from the other person, right? So if somebody comes out there and they're like, hey, you know, they're, I'm Zimzer or whatever, and you choose to call them by that name, right? Or by that pronoun for whatever reason, that is you doing it out of the kindness of your heart, not because you're forced to do it. Because if you're forced to do it, people are not going to want to do that. What else? Yeah, so like children can't really consent to being transitioned, right? They're children. Their bodies are still developing. Their bodies are still going through hormone changes, right? The brain's not going to change, right? Scientifically, the brain is going to say, I'm at X age, I need to deliver XYZ from my brain to the rest of the body, right? And that's it. That's not anything crazy. That's not a weird ideology. That is people who are, denying that because they want to force this kind of ideology out there. Again, there's only, I think, been like one or two people ever that they were like born intersex and they were like, flip a coin, guy or girl, and we're just going to make it one or the other, right? And that they came out and be like, hey, I'm the other one, right? And there's been tons of studies with nurture versus nature on this too. Tons of them. And it's really weird that celebrities, being such a small percentage of the populace, have so many trans children, right? Kind of weird. It's because it's the in thing to do. It's that we want to be more inclusive, yada, yada, yada. And again, I think it's horrible. I don't think we should do that to a child whatsoever. And yeah, you're forcing people. If you are a group of anybody out there and you decide that your whole entire being is just your sexuality, right? Your sexuality of being like, I am gay and all this gay stuff is going to be it, then that's not really going to help anything. You know, you're not really making friends. If I go out there and I'm going to do archery with somebody and that person turns out to be trans, but they don't really talk about it, just kind of who they are, I don't give a shit. Okay, that's fine. That's awesome. All right, you go do you. But if I'm out there at the archery range and they're like, can I tell you about my period? I'll be like, no. I'm trying to practice out here. What the hell, man? Lady, whatever you want to be called. The main issue with trans is they are trying to reject millions of years of evolution and dangerously unreversible and going to explore what these kids can pick up guns. So I believe that if you are, and the same thing with medications too, I believe if a child is being developed, right, the worst thing you can do is screw with the development of a child's brain in any sort of way. So there you go, Spank. You can go have all that you want, bro. But the worst thing you can do is manipulate or change a child's brain in any way, be it with medication, be it with drugs, be it with the environment that they're around, right? Any of that stuff. Especially if you're like, hey, today what we're going to do, right? Today what we're going to do, instead of, little Billy wanting to be out there and just say, maybe he likes dolls. Who cares? Maybe he likes, I don't know, baking. That's a good one. So this is a good thing to bring up. So you have a girl who goes out there, and the girl, instead of her going out and playing with dolls, she wants to go hang out with her dad, right? She wants to go hang out with her dad, and she wants to go fishing or hunting or working on cars or things that are quote unquote male, right? Now, it could be that that's just the way she wants to spend time with her dad. Okay? Now, same thing happens with a boy. Maybe a boy likes to bake. Maybe he likes to cook. Maybe he likes spending time with his mom. And then these people get this idea, well, you really just want to be a girl. What the hell is that going to do with anything? Maybe they just have different hobbies, right? Maybe this is ways they want to spend with their family. It doesn't automatically mean that this is a thing, right? Now, not to put on my tinfoil hat. I need to get a tinfoil hat for my here. Not the wrong one. There we go. Not to put on my tinfoil hat, but I do feel like there is a lot of weird things that are coming out that just bottle down to human stupidity and going like, this is my thesis of the world. And through my thesis of the world, I want to push this thesis. And as they do it, they're finding other people. And then even when they did, Dr. Money did this thing because he was the biggest push of transgender children, because Dr. Money weirdly accidentally circumcised some kid's cock off, which, by the way, I don't know how that's possible. I really don't. Like, when I heard that story, I thought to myself, how does cutting off a little piece of skin, which is still barbaric in my opinion, cutting off a little piece of skin on a kid's ding dong, to cutting off his whole tallywhacker, right? Can someone explain that to me? Did he sneeze? Oh, shalom. Like, what the hell happened? What I think happened is that crazy son of a bitch already knew what he was doing, and that he found
emergency 49 route.
2 children that were twins that he could have accidentally had this happen to do his experiment, right? And because of doing that experiment, man, Hellbent got a... Never mind. Are you cooking hot dogs? I'm sorry. Anyways. Instead of trying to actually help these children, I think he already had his thesis or his idea that he already had in mind about this and was like, oh, I'm going to put it to the test. Oops. And so what they did is they not only transitioned one of the boys into a woman, right, at a very early age, they also had the brother have simulated sex with him and did other things. And so his whole thing was that with enough nurture, you could overcome nature and make somebody a female if you wanted to. That was his whole thesis. And what ended up happening is the child went and killed himself eventually because of what happened. And it's one of the most horrific medical stories that's out there. But people use it as like a springboard that this was a good idea. Oh, well, he went out there and he showed that, if this happens, blah, 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 blah. Well, no, that's not true, right? That was abuse. That was a horrible thing of abuse. I don't know. I think people came in there, thought I was going to talk shit about Yikiwaru, but I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm actually defending her. Apparently they're expecting something else. I don't know. A teachable moment. Yeah. Horrible teachable moment, no less. But like, if you're an adult and you decide as an adult that you're going to go do this, that's your decision, right? That is your decision as an adult about your body and about what you want. Now, with that, that does not mean anybody else out there needs to treat you that way, because that is your decision. If you go get a big old face tattoo and everybody looks at you weird because you got a big old face tattoo, right? You know, people are going to be like, why did you do that? We're going to look at you weird because humans judge other humans. It's what humans do. It's not some magical thing where we just like, let's all be absolutely fine, handy dandy. Everyone, you know, acknowledge what's happening. Like, I work with 4 trans people in Alabama. Very nice. And you know what they do? They don't talk about their trans stuff. They don't bring it up every 5 minutes. They do their job, and that's it. It's great. You know? That's the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to get into shit with them. We do our job. There's a mutual respect because they're doing their job. We go on their day. That's it. But, you know, does it bug me? No, I don't care. It's their body. I don't give a shit what they're going to do. But, you know, there is certain things where I will, you know, openly say, like one of them had a BO problem and openly said, hey, you need to start putting deodorant on when you come to work because you smell like shit. Now, I don't know if that was because of their transitioning or they just failed to put on deodorant that day, or maybe they're just a sweaty pig. No idea, but that's their decision, right? But for a child cannot consent to any of that. And a child cannot get, you know, openly say what they want, right? They found this out with divorce courts because they found out in divorce court when they went to a child and the child said, I want to be with X parent, they would start to find out that one of those parents is kind of buttering up the kid, right? Like, I'm going to buy you a new Xbox. I'm going to buy you this. I'm going to buy you a car, whatever. Then they start finding out that parent was abusive. And the mom or dad would be out there going like, I don't think my kid should be with them. Here's all the evidence. And they're like, well, the kid's deciding. Then they started figuring out, hey, that was a really, really, really dumb idea because it ended up with more kids getting abused.
Metronet emergency 50 en route.
And again, does this VTuber have the reason to come out there and say what she wants? Yeah, absolutely.
Emergency 50 from Fullerton 4.
But again, child can't consent. This VTuber again comes out there, and again, her whole thing she says, she went on a rant, a little rant over there about people being dumb.
Emergency 50 from Fullerton 4. Go ahead,
even though I lost where the hell this came from. People being dumb. I even asked, I said, you know, how come I don't get a bunch of crazies like this anymore? Is it because I tell them to show up at my house and can blow off their knees with a shotgun? And apparently people agree with that, yes. Savage again. You got to say that with Super Chat so everyone can hear it.
Emergency 50, 10 to 12 minutes, code 3 ETA.
10-4, thank you.
So yeah, that's Yukiwaru. She came out there, had her own opinions about stuff. People are saying I rejected her at first on too much work, but after seeing her speak the truth in the attempted cancellation post here on X, I immediately reached out. What the hell does that mean? Rejected her at first? The hell, they're just covering a news story. And again, there's a lot of people that are going out there being VTubers so they don't get harassed, right? So they don't get people after them. There's another one where she came out, spoke out, and then people are trying to kill her. And I hate to say it, but this is kind of an ongoing thing that I have to keep telling people. If you're going to F with crazies, you're going to have to be, you know, ready to be also crazy back to them, right? That's why I moved somewhere where if I did blow someone's legs off with a shotgun who was trying to rob me or break into my house, my county would be like, I had it coming, right? Like living somewhere that doesn't let you really be free and give criminals more opportunities is bad. And there's people we know who are out there that lost, kind of their livelihood because people found out who they were, right? Now, I'm able to go on the internet and see what I want because I really don't work anywhere else. I do some voice acting. And to be honest, everyone looked at me and said, well, yeah, he's kind of in the middle. He kind of just speaks what's on his mind, but he's in the middle. He's not hard right, not hard left. But you have someone out there that, you know, they are doing their little cutesy character, and all of a sudden someone goes, hey, I feel like kids should be transitioned. They say, hey, I don't think it's a good idea. And all of a sudden everything goes shit up, right? Goes tits up in the air. And again, she should be able to say what she wants. And having people try to threaten her and backlash is just ridiculous, right? This has gone on longer than I wanted it to. But apparently, the minute I popped her up, I started getting like 3 or 4 people in here that started coming to talk shit, which is kind of weird. Kind of weird. It's like they saw her in the thumbnail and were like, gotta go in there. But again, at the end of the day, if you are a trans person, that's your thing. Nobody else's. And I know people are like, well, these people are offended when I'm doing my body, blah, blah, blah. Don't be around those people. Don't force yourself around those people if that's what you're not. It's just like anything else, right? If you have family members that don't like tattoos, right? Because people know I'm sleeved on both arms, right? Then don't be around those people who don't like tattoos. Don't keep going up to them and try to argue with them about how your tattoos are great and to work hard and blah, blah, blah. Just go on with your day. Like it's not worth it, right? And then the other person doesn't have to worry about it because they're going, well, I don't like your tattoos, blah, blah, blah. That's special, Savage. Or if you have if you're at a bar and there's a chick with a nose ring, right? You're not going to go walk up to her and grab and go honk, honk, and then walk away. Those people be like, I don't like that, and they go on with their day. But if she's coming over there and dipping the thing in your drink, you're going to be a little bit upset. 3 guys surrounded your car in Baltimore today at the light. I calmly placed my pistol on my lap and pointed at the door. The first guy that looked in my window, they took off. Oh, weird. You would not, Savage. It was a win I wanted to share. I would say that is a good win. Unless you're into that sort of thing. Then you might go talk to her. Maybe you like nose rings. I don't know. But again, the whole thing is people are going to do what the hell they're going to do. And you have the same rights as somebody else of saying what you want. I just think, if you walk up to her with a nose ring and you hook a chain onto it, you should be able to pull her around the bar. Oh, come here, piggy. Honk, honk for the honk gods. Yeah, so that's my long short of it. Like, again, I think people thought I was going to start talking shit about her. I guess when it came in, and I was like, no, I'm literally on her side. I'm defending what she said. That's all I could possibly guess that when people came in here. I got no idea. On a mission to control people's reactions as psychopaths. Yes, you as a human being, every human being judges another human being, right? And if you give someone the respect of wanting to say their pronouns or letting them be, I don't know, a turtle in the middle of the floor, where the hell they're going to do, that is you giving it to them. What the fuck did I walk into? Which part did you walk into? The part about the chain in the nose? But again, it's, when I go out and I'm next to a college, right? And we get college people in there, and some of them are looking weird, and it doesn't bug me. I just don't give a shit. I move on my day. Like, I know there's people out there who are hard on the right, and they go out there and be like, I have to say something. Like, I have to go be an asshole. Right? I have to go walk up to that random person and be a dick for whatever reason. Now, that's different than you're bringing your kid into the bathroom and there's a dude standing in there. That's a different story. Now you are taking your rights and forcing them upon other people, which then other people are going to go and force some rights upon you, right? That becomes a bigger issue. He, she, or it is what I learned in school. Done. Yeah. So again, I work with 4 trans people in Alabama. Nice people. They do their job. Not an issue. And I don't call them by a pronoun.
Everyone just showed up on scene.
I call them by their name, and then I just leave it at that.
That's terminus.
The gingerbread man.
Emergency 49, we got it.
I asked her if she knew the Muffin Man. The one in, oh, I forgot what it is. The one in Marybrook Lane? Probably higher than the voice I can do. Well, I travel around, and when you work in the arts, you kind of run into people of all different varieties. Like, I remember when I started working in the theaters and people were like,
Emergency 49, Metro.
yelling and screaming, right? About, you know, you got to worry about gay people. And, you know, you're working in the theater industry, and you're like, all right, gay people all the time. It doesn't bug me. It's just another person who's going through their day. Yeah, Danny, that's how I feel too. Like, if you are a trans person, just chill out and don't make that your entire identity, and I don't give a shit. Because it doesn't affect me. Like, it doesn't bug me. It doesn't, you know, the only time it bugs me is if I have my kid and I walk into a bathroom and your weird ass is standing in there, then I'm probably going to have a problem with it. But that, again, that is going above and beyond. And the trans people I know who are male to female go and use the male bathroom still because they're like, yeah, I don't want any issues. Oh, okay, well, there you go. But I mean, people are going to be offended regardless, right? People are always offended by something. Again, I have tattoos. I was in a line one time and some old cranky bitch looked at me and goes, "Why did you do that to your body?" And I looked over at him. I'm like, so older women like you look at me. She didn't know what to say. I think I made her poop herself when I responded. Well, the same thing I look with trans people, the same thing with vegans, right? Is I feel like they're trying to convince themselves by trying to convince you, right? And I think that's with a large populace of them that are out there being vocal. But I also believe that there's I also believe that there's people out there who baby bunkas. You weren't expecting that, will you? Thanks, I almost forgot about them. Yeah. Or like really hardcore animal rights activists, right? Those are another type of crazy. But again, I am very much a libertarian centrist. And it's very straightforward. Leave me the fuck alone. And I'll leave you alone. Same with the government. Fuck off. But again, I think people thought I was going to talk shit about that VTuber. I was not. I'm actually going to say nice stuff about her. Saying that, yeah, she has the right to say what she wants. And nobody should be threatening her for saying what she wants or what she believes. If you don't like it, here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing about the goddamn internet. You can turn it off and walk away. You don't have to look at it. You can just block it and go about your goddamn day. That's far right. That's not libertarian anymore. That's far right extremism. I didn't know that. Well, I'm now educated. Apparently, you just want to be left alone, and leaving everyone else alone is out there. Do wildly colored animals. Nature warns talks with bright colors. So if you're a crazy blue-haired person, I need the warning. I work with working at anime conventions and other science fiction conventions, you get a lot of people like that. And so, like, there was a point where I started working there and I used to step on eggshells, and now I'm just like, I don't give a shit. Like, here's what I think. If you don't like it, piss off. And
Emergency 50 on scene.
they kind of just go like, oh, okay. And they just kind of, let it go. Don't worry. I've been off the charts for a minute. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has been paying attention to the policies happening right now. Let me go take our friend here off. Here we go. Give me a second here. I got to do some networking. Please talk amongst yourselves. So on the side note, on a happier side note, I got bored last night and made like 8 songs based around D&D. Just cuz. And give me something to do. Let's see, where is it? What the hell just happened? The hell button did I just hit? What the shit's going on here? Maybe I had like a stroke because my fingers are not doing what I want them to do today. The vegan teacher Canadian animal rights activist nuttier than squirrel turds. No, but I want to find him now. Hold on. Because we're talking about crazy people, and I'm waiting for Tio to quit wanking. Everyone does know my schedule, right? Like, I don't know if people have seen it that when I'm on my days off, I don't really expect Tio to help me. But he said he was trying to get a new job, but I don't know if he did that. Oh my God, this lady. Oh, yes, I have seen her. I didn't know what her name was. Hold on. Bullying animal rights activists. What the hell? Let's see. What's a good one? Why did the Canadian Parliament give a standing ovation to a Nazi? Trans protect animals. Trans vegans protect animals. God creates killers. Therefore, vegans are kinder. What in the shit? She was at one of the Canadian rallies, I think. I believe. Anyways. Still a VTuber, we're
almost 10 years.
Defending her.
On June 27th, oh, I lost my card. I have a card about my vegan declaration day, but I don't know where.
We are now watching 49 minutes of this loon.
I put it on my desk, but yeah, it's been almost 10 years that I've been vegan, and I'm here to remind you that vegans are actually kinder than God. And the reason that I say that.
What? Oh, what? Excuse me?
It's because vegans are protecting the animals where God is creating animals and making them suffer, if God exists, that is. So I'm not sure what you guys think about God, but it seems to me like God is either drunk or stoned, maybe lazy. Maybe God is stupid. Maybe God.
I hope she gets hit with lightning. I'm hoping that she gets smited. And I'm agnostic, and I hope she gets smited.
He's dead, or he never existed at all. But one thing's for sure is that God is not a very kind creature. God is not very smart. God did do a couple of good things. God created beautiful giraffes who eat plants. God created beautiful elephants who eat plants. And, all kinds of animals who don't.
Or it could be that there's a cycle of life in the world as stuff had developed from amoebas, and those things learn that sometimes I have to eat meat because there's not enough vegetables to sustain my body, and other ones are like, I have to eat vegetables because there's not enough meat to sustain my body. And there's this thing called evolution that happened. And now, even if you're a Christian or Catholic or whatever, you can still believe in evolution, that God created everything else and evolution took over. Yada, yada, yada. Believe what you want. But, it's really bizarre to go out there and say that you as a creature who was made by God, right? Since you are believing in God, since she says she's better than God, which means she then believes in a God, because if she didn't, she would not be saying she is better than said God, right? God made you though, right? And gave you the free will to do what you want. And your free will, if this was a regular society where we didn't have computers, houses, and you lived in the savannah, would have been eaten by a lion or a tiger or a wolf, or a bear, or bitten by a snake, or a spider, or an iguana, or many other animals out there that would be more than happy to eat and kill you, right? Because again, there's kind of a way the world works, right? Now, if there is a higher being that maybe is even an alien out there that seeded this planet and made us, who the hell knows, then I hope they would shoot this woman with a ray gun.
Don't hurt other animals, but God also created animals who deliberately have to hurt other animals. Now, we're not mad at the animals because animals don't have moral agency. More animals are like children on this planet, so they don't know better. But humans, we know better, so we don't have to ever hurt animals ever. So we can be vegan. We can be kind.
She does not look healthy, by the way. She looks very unhealthy. So vegans also believe that, for men who are vegans, believe that if they are vegans, they will not get prostate cancer. Now, there has been a slight decrease in vegans versus and vegetarians versus people who eat meat in prostate cancer, but they're thinking that that might not even be true, and it's just there's so much less of them, it's hard to judge. You mean that vegan cat that died of starvation because vegans cats are what the hell are they? Carnivores? Cats are strictly carnivores. Like, cats are not supposed to be eating vegetables and shit. That's why they eat grass, they vomit it out to help with their stomach.
Kinder than God, all right? Makes perfect sense when you think about it, right? I mean, just think logically. If you do think logically, you will realize that I'm right. All right, so let's see what we have here. Somebody says that they think that God is good. Well, I'd like to have some evidence of that, actually. I don't have evidence.
You are able to be on the internet as a crazy person. And again, I'm agnostic. Like, I don't know how else to put this. Like, I believe in something's out there, but not really any religion per se. But I can even say that if there's a higher power and they allow your stupid ass to be on the internet, yell and scream and do what you want, then there's some good there because, again, you have free will. You could have just been an amoeba that just sits there, lives, and dies within minutes, right?
Of that. So let me know, what do you think how do you explain the fact that God created animals who suffer and who make others suffer? I'd be very curious about that. How do you explain this fact? It seems to me pretty obvious.
Because pain is a really good motivator for the lion not to eat your ass.
That vegans are kinder than God because we don't want to hurt the animals, and we're trying every day to protect animals. Every single day, in fact, we don't eat them. We try to remind people that they shouldn't hurt.
What if you bring up something to her like, what about all the bacteria you kill every day? What about the germs you kill every day? What about the tapeworm? Right? I've actually asked vegans this. I said, how do you feel that every day your body kills viruses and bacteria and funguses around the clock? Yeah, our teeth show that they were made. So the newest thing is with crazy people is our teeth are made to be omnivores, right? We're made to be able to eat everything. Send you a pizza with some 5-finger knuckle children in it. Our teeth are made to eat everything. That's why we have teeth made for going through meat. We have teeth made for going through grains. We have teeth that are made for going through fruit and other stuff, and ways to straighten stuff out in our bodies and our bowels and stomach. Because again, we're omnivores. So the crazy people now are going to the dentist and I'm purposely having their canines removed so they could tell people, well, you see, I've been so vegan that my teeth are no longer made for animals. Well, what they don't tell you is that their crazy ass went to the goddamn dentist and had their teeth ground down.
We tell people that plants have protein and that nobody needs to ever hurt the animals. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Let's go over here and let's have a look what you guys are saying.
Yeah, so for like cows, for example, and other animals that have multiple stomachs, to be able to go through that fibrous material and then either vomit or shit it out later, right? Oh, yeah, she should go hug a hippo. And once it uses those teeth like big hole punchers through her head, I think she might learn a thing or two. I believe, anyways. Pain is a mediator of learning. That is true. It's a very good thing. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already done it, folks. Thank you very much. Well, oxygen's free.
So I just made sure that everybody here can type. Thanks for sharing the live stream, you guys. Hi, everybody here on my TikTok channel. Thanks for coming in and tapping on the screen. If you guys would like to come and talk to me, you absolutely can. You can help to be a teaching assistant here on this channel. Just to tell you a couple of other things about me, though, in case you were wondering, because some people ask me, I'll just give you a little bit of my bio, so to speak. So, as I already say,
I'm pretty sure the bile is coming out of your mouth, lady, like a water fountain.
I became vegan about 10 years ago on June 27th, 2016. I have a dog who is vegan. She eats vegan kibble, which is vet approved. My vegan dog, Bella, is 11 and a half years old and in perfect health. I mean, she's an elderly dog. She's like a grandma type because she's older. So bigger dogs don't live that long, unfortunately, but she's doing fine. She can swim and she can run. She's doing fine. And what else would you like to know? Oh, it's true that I have been trained as a registered nurse.
Dear
and I'm
God,
also a teacher.
Could you imagine? She kept moving from jobs because she probably kept getting fired. Could you imagine you're a nurse and this woman comes up to you? She's like, I took away your burger because even though let me check your chart here. Let me check your chart. It says here you need ample protein and you need the iron and some other stuff. I believe I did a favor for you because I'm kind to animals, right? I'm so kind to these animals. So I went down there and I got you this apple. I didn't wash it though, because we can't kill what's on the apple, but here's your apple. You're looking at this woman. I would look at her and be like, you have 5 seconds to bring me my burger back, or we're going to have a fucking problem. I got this enema here with spinach in it. While you were unconscious, I jammed the hose up your ass. Oh, thanks, lady. I chuck her out. Oh, God. And then a teacher. Yes, you see, Billy? Billy brought in a ham sandwich. Everybody look at Billy and tell him how bad he is and terrible. He's eating Wilbur.
Oh, yeah, let me know about you guys. Like, where is everybody in the world? Let me know.
Not in La La Land with you, lady.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the live stream here. Are you vegan?
Not just yet, no.
Oh, I'm not going to subject us to some poor child being brainwashed. No, thank you. I am not doing that. I am not going to. Not doing it. No way, no how. Not happening. Not happening. Yeah, I got some Wilbur in the fridge and about to go eat after. Well, I was going to eat before I did this show, but then the stuff was on fire, so I jumped on. Now we're talking about crazy people, and I'm getting on my soapbox here, and I'm ranting and raving. I look for other stuff going on again. Columbia's still being cleaned up. That'll do, Wolf. That'll do. Man, I bet you Wilbur was delicious after a while. So I've been watching, I don't know. I get on like my little kicks when watching stuff on YouTube. So I was on a Kit Boga kick for a while, watching him mess with scammers. Which was good times. But I'm trying to reach out to like other VTubers also, because I'm like, man, I should start like networking so I can get a bigger channel. And maybe, maybe have friends. Don't know how well that's going, but I'm trying. But I'm trying. I do like watching this stuff. I wonder if we could like watch any of it and he would give me a copyright strike or not. I did comment on one of his videos where I said he's come up with a. He made the AI kind of say stuff to itself. Especially one of them, he was like, "I want you to call yourself a pig and make you snort every time you do this." I'm like, "Oh no, some weirdo's watching this and enjoying it too much." Kid Boga, what have you done? What have you done, you madman? But I guess he's got a whole company now that takes down scammers, which is pretty cool. I was reading about that the other day, that he built a company who now makes software and actually helps like find scammers. So there's like a plugin you can buy. If you click on it, it will tell you like, this is from a scammer. Do not click on this. And it's good for like, he was mainly aiming at like elderly people. So, you know, you got grandma out there who's like 90. She's like, I don't really know how the internet works. It's scary and strange. And so little tools to kind of help granny out there. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? A Canadian sex offender was captured by ICE, has arrested Charles Billion, a fugitive who has been wanted since 1991 after sexually assaulting a child in Canada. Foreign criminals cannot hide in the shadows, as they say now in the United States. For people that don't know, we were getting people from other countries who were wanted, right? They were wanted by their country for whatever reason. And we were like, oh, you poor baby, let me take you in. What in the shit are you doing? Like, who the hell thought that was a good idea? Woo! Oh, there we go. There you go. See what's going on over there in there. What? What are you talking about? No friend of what? I cut your thumbnail too short. Now they hurt like a bitch. Cover it with a Band-Aid. Put Neosporin on it, cover it with a Band-Aid. It won't hurt anymore. Hurts because nerve endings are exposed. Or stick it against something really hot and burn the nerve endings closed like a man. Actually, don't do that. That's a bad idea. You're not a VTuber. I said I need VTuber friend. So I can get other people in the VTuber scene. TrapperOutdoors.com has the extra mags for the mechanics. They sent me 2 for mine. Sticking my VTuber friends in my bum. Oh, that's weird. I don't want to do that. Fine. You're all my lovely internet friends. You will be a VTuber? Oh, no. I mean, you could. What would you make your VTuber of? What would your theme be? Like, I know there's some other people I, you know, talk shit to, or not to, but shoot the shit with on YouTube. I think they're like furries. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not that, man. It's not me. That's not my thing. A vag with mustard colored lips? You might be really popular. Especially you put some big old boobs on you. Then you could be a real weirdo. I think you'd probably get a lot of people looking at you. Then keep your deep voice, like Mama Akko does. Speaking of weirdos and people on the internet, so again, I guess Alex Rosenberg, whatever the hell his name is, the pred catcher, is in a fight with Chris Hansen. Because Chris Hansen is like, yeah, what all you're doing is effing up cases and making yourself look like an idiot. Sterling's first victim, Jesus. But yeah, so I guess they're in a fight with each other, and Chris Hansen came out and was just like, yeah, all these cases that you supposedly have that you got were all bullshit. Like, it's not hard to go look them up. So now they're having like a big old slap fight back and forth. And so I made a comment and I said, look, there are tons and tons and tons of people who help find child predators every day, and they don't have a YouTube channel because you know what they do is they just what? You know what they do is they go out and they work every day to help children. That's all they do. That's their entire long and short of it. They don't, you know, make a YouTube channel and then get money from it. Can someone go tell Nikki she's not live? That was like hours ago in internet land. Like in the span of the internet, that was like days ago. Even though for us it was only minutes.
Have not proven that he knew others who attended Kirk's event or they were in danger. The defense lawyers also dispute claims that Robinson targeted Kirk over his political views. Robinson has not yet entered a plea in this case. Los Angeles right now, we have learned that the Lakers are being sold for a second time in a year, going to venture capitalist Josh Kushner, the younger brother of Jared Kushner, and former Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger, for a record-breaking price. According to a person familiar who spoke with the Associated Press, the sale agreement, $12.5 billion. The two had been working together on landing a possible NBA expansion team for Las Vegas. The sale still needs to be approved by the NBA's Board of Governors. Spokane County Sheriff is right now investigating a crash between a pickup truck and an e-bike on Monday that left a rider dead. The sheriff's office says the deputies responded to a crash at
Could you not see because of the smoke?
Progress Road and East Valleyway Avenue, where they found a man lying on the ground.
All right, we're moving to a rally.
The sheriff's office says the driver of the pickup truck maintained his presence and then...
All right, that's nice. Yeah.
We're not going to do that. When somebody is taken away from us, when somebody is abducted, when somebody's rights are violated, we're here to stand strong together.
You don't have rights around an American citizen.
And we know that unfortunately this may happen again, but we want to send a strong message.
That's not a political view. That's literally a court case.
To the people that are standing on the sidelines to join us, we need their voice, we need their support. And as you heard today, this is the moment to do that.
I don't know what they're doing with that, Chris.
Oye, bueno, en español.
No, they don't need to have you do it again. Everyone that speaks Spanish probably also speaks English. They just don't like to.
Con el National Immigration Project. Estamos aquí porque hemos visto el incremento de detenciones y arrestos de ICE en Virginia. Esto es algo que hemos visto en todo el país en los últimos meses. ICE tiene los fondos, billones de dólares para continuar separando familias, para abusando de los derechos de los inmigrantes. Hemos visto esta historia otra vez en el pasado. Estos arrestos no han tenido la misma atención que hemos visto los arrestos del año pasado, pero las personas que son detenidas, que son separadas de sus familias,
I always wonder if they're saying something different to them in Spanish to the English.
Tienen sueños que fueron truncados. Su ausencia se siente cuando no llegan a sus casas. Las personas que son detenidas, arrestadas y secuestradas de nuestras calles muchas veces son llevadas al centro de detención de Farmville de Caroline, donde sabemos que estas condiciones adentro de los centros de detención son inhumanas. Recientemente no tenían AC adentro, donde las temperaturas en el estado de Virginia llegaron a 100 grados y la gente de adentro no tenía ningún tipo de alivio. En estos momentos necesitamos la solidaridad de los oficiales electos en Virginia, que hagan lo que puedan para apoyar a la comunidad inmigrante. Este es el momento de unirnos y, como escuchamos, cuando vemos estos secuestros, estas detenciones, ICE quiere que nos quedemos callados, que no digamos nada y que olvidemos a las personas que son detenidas y separadas de sus familias. Estamos aquí para decir que esas historias son historias como las de nosotros y debemos apoyarnos el uno a otro.
Oh yeah, Northern Virginia.
Y esperemos que la gente que está afuera y no
because you know everybody out there wants to keep holding those signs for an extra 2 hours while they redo the every speech in Spanish.
So before I ask Carolina to join us and to share her experience with what happened earlier this week, antes de invitar a Carolina que venga a compartir lo que pasó esta semana, I want to remind everybody that we are here to show a community response, right?
You guys want to bring back the Canadian sex offender? Is that what you guys are up there? Seems kind of weird to me.
Her family, and our whole community. Just like every other time that one of our loved ones or community members is detained by ICE. ICE is an inherently white supremacist violent agency since its founding, and what we're seeing now is all of that in action in our streets. It is an agency that maintains a dangerous incarceration, deportation system where people are abused, where people are hurt every single day by
other inmates?
Agents.
Oh.
And now this experiment that the United States has been playing out, targeting our communities through the prison system, is being expanded into our communities through the raids and attacks like we're witnessing.
So hold on, let me get this straight.
Here in Northern Virginia.
Are you telling me that the prison system is what makes black on black crime so prevalent in the ghetto?
Es un sistema arraizado en la supremacía blanca y en una historia que ataca a nuestras comunidades. Y lo que sabemos es que es un sistema de mucho abuso, el sistema de encarcelamiento y deportaciones, y que estamos aquí en solidaridad no solo con Carolina porque fue un ataque contra una persona individual, sino como comunidad estamos luchando para decir que no está sola, pero también para decir que no está sola, pero también
how is that making it worse for everybody else?
Ni cualquier persona que es afectada por la violencia de ICE. And so I'm gonna now introduce Carolina to share for a few minutes. And you can come on up here if you're down.
Thank you, Carolina.
You know what makes more crime? Lack of education. You know what the problem we have right now? Lack of education.
This? Like that? Okay. Yeah, y'all, I'm short, so.
I'm just gonna lower this for you.
Oh, wow. Okay, thanks.
It's not personal.
So I am Carolina Molina.
Did you know you only need one mic for that stand?
Counselor,
And you can go to a media breakout box where everyone else can plug into? And some of the new ones even have adjustable gain on them?
August 10th,
per channel?
Just conducting some business, if that's what you want to call it.
Or into a digital mixer? Without?
Starting a new business recently, I have started to dabble into doing psychological immigration evaluations, in which I collaborate with immigration lawyers and assess, evaluate, write a document, so on and so forth for their clientele.
So she's doing nothing.
In order for me to network, I visit their offices, I drop off my business cards, and
you impose on stuff you're not actually a part of, and you want people to hire you based on something they don't need.
I am originally from Loudoun County. I usually I've gone to Manassas, Leesburg, Reston, Herndon, Sterling, and so on Monday I decided to come out to Falls Church because I figured there's attorneys here that I haven't reached out to. So I asked ChatGPT to provide me with a list of immigration lawyers.
You hit that nail on the head.
There are 3 in this area. There are 2 down the road. So I was in and out because we all know ChatGPT is not perfect.
You called that one right on the head.
It does not give you things in chronological order or by directions. So,
well, we'll actually, if you ask it to. You just not asking the right questions.
I was just in this area conducting business.
Same with Google.
I do have a potty mouth. I am loudmouth, and I do feel as an American citizen I have a right to my First Amendment, and so I saw them out here arresting people. As you can tell by my dash cam, I passed by one of them and called him a hoe. And then I kept on driving. After he said F you, I said F you all, and I kept on driving. I noticed that there was a lot of unmarked vehicles, and due to just that small interaction, I did not want to bring attention to another immigration lawyer's clientele if they were in the lobby, as they sometimes are. And so I decided to pull into a parking spot, pull out, and just go on my merry way when I got blocked in by one of the ICE agents. And he got out with a gun, pointed it to my head, asked me why I was following them around, told him I was not, I was leaving cards. And that was
you weren't
what
following
he
them around,
kept
lady.
saying, like, why are you following us around? I decided to bring out my cell phone and record, and that is when it feels like the situation changed. It feels like then he started planting the seed of, you are trying to run us over, she was trying to run us over, etc., etc., and that is not the case.
She knows this isn't her testimony for court, right?
I was actually trying to leave, and this is where things obviously got to where you can see on camera. I don't know in that situation how I reacted the way I did, to be completely honest. I think it's more so like there was a shock when I saw him pull in front of me and take the gun out.
Yeah, because you're following him around like a weirdo.
The gun is already out, and then he starts pointing it at me. So as you can tell in the video, I said, are you really, meaning like, are you really doing this? Like, I can't really believe it. And that's where things went. And so I don't know what else I can say. I do want to say this is everything that I did was by my own stance. It has nothing to do with my employer or my company.
Man,
and so
her lawyer's going to love her for this. That's going to do real good for her case.
Okay. ¿En español?
¿Lo quieren? One second. ¿Quieren en español? Sí. En español, por favor. Puede ser usted si quiere.
Okay. Si me quedo trabada, lo siento. Pero andaba aquí conductando business, dejando mis tarjetas para abogados de migración. Yo soy una terapeuta licenciada en el estado de Virginia y
Really, Doc? Let me go look for that too,
conecto
buddy.
con abogados que trabajan con casos de inmigración para ayudar a poner mi negocio en alto y decirles que
Yeah, that's great. That's great, lady. On August 10, 2026, in Falls Church, Bailey's Crossroads, Northern Virginia, U.S. citizen licensed counselor Carolina Molona, a Northern Virginia native who works on immigration-related psychological evaluations, which, according to her, though, she just randomly goes to lawyers and gives out her cards, hoping that they'll hire her. Had a tense encounter with ICE agents. Agents were conducting targeted enforcement nearby when Molina interfered with them. Cell phone and dash cam video show an agent drawing and pointing a firearm at her through the car window while accusing her of nearly running them over. So not that they were going to run her over, but apparently she almost did run them over. Let's see, agents drawn pointing firearms at her through her car window while accusing her of nearly running them over and threatening to arrest her. She denied the claims, pointed to her video evidence, and allowed to leave without being arrested or removed from the vehicle. DHA stated officers feared for their safety, claimed she weaponized her vehicle while trying to help people evade arrest, and noted that she could have faced potential criminal prosecution after a body background check. Molina and local officials, including community leaders, disrupted the account, saying that the video shows no clear attempt to harm agents. So why was she videotaping all this, right? Like, why did she have a dash cam going? Why did she have her cell phone going? Dash cam makes sense. I have a dash cam in my truck. But why was it going with her phone, right? Like, she knew what she was doing. She purposely picked that spot to go down there to do it. Story is circulating in Fox 5, DC, NYT, Apache, etc. So, yeah, it sounds like she was, it sounds like, again, she knew what she was doing. She was there to disrupt the ICE agents. I'm going to say that she speaks fluent Spanish and knows what she's doing because she's going down there thinking that she's trying to help them. So I'm expecting later on a court case to come out of this.
What was that separate location that you had interacted with the ICE agent? Was that also outside of...
That was out here. No, that was out here on Columbia Pike.
That was
So she's had multiple encounters with the ICE agents.
It was out here. Like, I don't know if they were...
I'm curious, was that day, did you spot ICE agents specifically at several different...
I don't know if they were at immigration offices, to be completely honest.
What was your thought when you saw the gun pointed at you? Scared to death?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I took my cell phone out and started recording, because I'm like, yo, this guy's really pointing a gun
But
at
you
my
said
head.
that,
Like,
but they said the cell phone was out before that.
Yeah,
right? That's what I just read. They said the cell phone showed where she was driving.
Seeing the locations I had stopped and dropped my cards off on Leesburg Pike, down Columbia Pike, and I was like,
So
oh my
you
gosh,
go
this is
around
like
randomly to people's cars and you drop off business cards instead of mailing them? That's kind of weird.
It feels just very like, I can't believe I'm standing here again,
And it's not
to be
butter.
completely honest.
Did you file any formal complaints?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just working through everything right now. We're looking at different avenues right now.
Different avenues? You mean the avenue that you're probably going to prison? That avenue? For interfering with law enforcement agencies?
I think they would have shot me and gotten away with it, to be completely honest. I think my life was in danger at that point.
Why would they shoot you?
I don't think I processed that.
Did you try to hit him with the car? Is that why?
After I was like, this was a whole Renee Good situation again.
So with Renee Good, though, Renee
can
Good
try.
tried to hit an officer. The officer got acquitted of that.
No.
And charges were all dropped against him.
I don't know.
Handle the situation differently today if you ran into them again.
The reporters are cross-examining her now.
It just feels very overwhelming.
Billy, I know you're going through a lot right now. The last thing I wanted to ask is, what does accountability look like for you in this specific scenario?
I don't know. I think it's messed up. I just don't think it's fair.
She wanted an
that they can
excuse
sit
to
there
interfere with the
and
ICE
walk somebody
officers.
in,
She
point
followed
a
them
gun to your
around. They
head,
stopped. They
and
got out of the
hit
car
them
because they
with
thought they were going to be attacked, which has
should be
happened before, or shot at.
investigated, and if their
They pulled the
body
gun on her
cam was
because she
on,
tried to probably hit him with the car. Once
put
she
it
saw
out
that they
there.
weren't effing around, she decided to back down, as I think is what I gather anyways. Especially her body language. The more she's getting questioned, the more she's getting like slumped shoulders, right? No, if she has a lawyer right now, the lawyer would come out and tell her to shut up and to stop talking.
Betrayed.
Because this is all evidence.
Makes me feel betrayed, to be completely honest. I was born and raised in Northern Virginia, and then but I still consider myself Latina, first generation American, and bilingual. For me, culture is everything, and so
kosher.
It's just like you betray your own people.
Carolina, out of curiosity,
But your parents came here and had you here illegally. Right?
It's for traffic incidents. Like, I have a nice car, and I just don't want, if somebody were to hit me, like, I have proof that, whatever the case may be. So.
Oh, she's lying. You see her eyes? When she brought that up, her eyes started darting around, not looking at him. When they asked why you have it, she said, "Oh, it's because I have a nice car."
Apparently, yes, because
I might lose power.
you just never know.
My
what
lights
could
just started
happen.
flickering.
And so you should always protect yourself.
If I disappear, I lost power. Hopefully not, but the lights started flickering.
If I could say it nicely, I would say they're full of crap.
Well, that's not saying it nicely. That's using profanity. You could say, I feel like they are lying.
Because I think people always fear repercussions, and so I feel like people tend to sweep things under the rug, especially immigrants. They get their rights violated time and time again, and
they
feel
don't.
like they don't have a voice or people to speak out for them.
Immigrants who are here legally have lots of rights. In fact, some immigrants have more rights than a regular nationalized American citizen.
At least, like, I'm not scared to.
Did you know if you came here from a war-torn country, you would get $5,000 to $1,500 a month just for coming here?
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And then that dickhead there, number one, was there at a bunch of the other
We're gonna take a second.
cases?
That's a lot. Thank you, Carolina, for sharing, and thank you all of you for being here in solidarity and in community. Like I said, this is a community response. This is not the only incident that has happened in Northern Virginia in the past few days, and we are glad that we have representatives.
So yeah, that guy we've seen in other places.
Of Representative Don Byer and Representative Suhas Subramanian.
And
as
again,
well,
the
who are
community,
here.
like,
Their staff members are
oversight
here
committees, I
because
think
we
are kind of
recognize
bullshit, to
that
be
we need the
honest.
support from everyone,
I don't think they're
from
really
local
helping
elected
anything.
officials, state officials,
Especially
members of
since you get
Congress,
people in there
the
who
whole community
entire thing is to piss on
fight
the
back against what happened
cops.
in this case, but also to end ISIS violence and end these raids that we're witnessing right now.
No,
And
the
to
raids
free
are going to
our
keep
people,
happening, dude.
Porque reconocemos de que necesitamos a la comunidad entera.
Yeah, I get it. You put wiener in your mouth. So, the raids are going to keep happening because you're not supposed to be here. Thank you. Like, that's the long and short of it.
I'm here for Showing Up for Racial Justice Northern Virginia chapter. We are an organization working to bring more white people into multiracial movements for democracy and collective liberation.
What?
Like others today have said, what happened here was not an anomaly or isolated incident. ICE is attacking community members across the area, here in Falls Church, in Herndon, Arlington, Centerville, at the processing office in Chantilly, all the way down to Caroline County and Farmville.
You mean the
Virginia.
processing office where people are coming here illegally that should not be here or getting caught? Is that what you mean?
People are being disappeared, deported, and threatened with promises of inhumane and dangerous conditions in detention.
According to who?
We need our political electeds, our elected officials, to intervene now. We see you campaigning for our vote, but we need more than speeches. We need action. Hold this administration accountable. Cut the funding. Call them to answer for these abuses. ICE is acting with impunity and has all of us and our neighbors living in a police state. Training is not the problem. This system of violence that puts maintaining a border above preserving human dignity is the problem. We stand with our comrades here today and demand ICE be abolished.
Call me.
We stand with our community, and we won't stop until these systems of injustice fall. Thank you.
Why wasn't that in Spanish?
And just to close, I'm going to read a statement from Juanita, who is with the International Mayan League. Para cerrar, voy a leer una declaración de Juanita.
There is no more Mayans. What Mayan League are you talking about? All the Mayans are dead. They were raped by the Spanish.
Lands. As a member of the community who is impacted, I denounce the violent and discriminatory immigration enforcement operations occurring daily in the entire region now known
You're not
as
speaking
DC,
Mayan,
Maryland, and
you're
Virginia.
speaking Spanish.
The policing and militarization of our communities by ICE and police are terrorizing our families, spreading fear, and victimizing our relatives and neighbors throughout the DMV, reflective of what is occurring across the entire country. I am outraged that on Monday, Carolina Molina, a U.S. citizen, mother from Northern Virginia, was violently confronted by masked ICE officers in Falls Church, where they drew a handgun and pointed it at her. Congressman Don Beyer from Virginia stated these actions are dangerous and unjustified escalation and will be demanding answers and consequences. Daily, ICE agents wearing masks and in tactical gear, using violence, smashing windows, drawing their weapons, beating members of our community during detentions. And this is a reminder of the repressive regimes that many of us were forced to flee in our countries of origin. In the years that many of us have lived in this area, we have not experienced this level of violent targeting of our peoples, dehumanizing our very existence and dignity. As stated by a Maya elder in the DMV recently, quote, all day long, helicopters have been circling the area. This is just like the war in the 80s in Guatemala, when the helicopters came to bomb us. This reminds me of those times, end quote. I call on elected officials to act on the side of justice and denounce
Let me get this
violence
straight.
that is harming our communities, separating and
People are illegally here being rounded up
I call for
with gentle hands most of the time unless you fight with them. Remind you of being bombed by a helicopter? So,
attacking our community.
You've never been in the war zone, I'm guessing.
Collaboration with ICE. 3, to shut down ICE detention centers. And 4, for members of Congress to support the Melt ICE Act introduced by Representative Ramirez. To the greater community, this violence is happening daily. We need your solidarity. Speak up because so many cannot denounce these atrocities. Take actions for those who are afraid to leave their homes. Our people are not animals, criminals, or savages. We are mothers, children, elders, fathers.
Well, you came here illegally, so it makes you a criminal.
To school, to places of worship. We must see each other's humanity. Solidarity is action. We are stronger together in community. Justice and accountability. I just want to reiterate what our demands are also as community organizations. Solo quiero recalcar lo que nuestras demandas son como organizaciones.
In fact, most of the people being arrested are people who already have a long history of crime. Those are the people being arrested first. So these people are, again, unhappy that criminals are being arrested on a side note, a violent mass leftist Portland woman named Catherine Esperanza was convicted by a Portland jury for a role in the Antifa May Day riot against police. She was sentenced to only probation and community service by a Multnomah County judge. So, DA going light on people over there. It's really easy. If you want to come to this country, do like my family did and go through the proper procedures. If you don't like that, don't come here. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's it. You have choices to make. If you don't want to be, don't like how the country is, don't come here.
All good? Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
So again, that was the whole thing. Kind of a waste of time. And when someone says, well, I'm Mayan, there are no more Mayans left. There are no more, Inuits or anybody else. Like, anyone in Mexico is 3/4, if not more, Spanish. And you speak the invader's language. That means you lost. That doesn't mean, you're secretly coming back. Yes, every country has borders and laws for it, yes. If you want to go to Mexico, you have to have passports to go to Mexico, right? Or you used to have an ID. I think in Texas you could go back and forth. But, you still have to have stuff, right? And if you show up there and you don't have your paperwork, they're going to extort the living hell out of you and your family. Hey, look, we got your kid here. If you want him back, you have to pay this much money. I don't know. They have to feel that they're becoming a part of something. Oh, me, oh, my. I got to feel like I'm really going and doing something. I don't get it. Again, any other country out there, well, I don't know what God wanted, since I am I'm only a man. Apparently the fire next to me, they had to come out and tell people to stop using their chainsaw. Fire season is not the time for chainsaw work. Please stop using chainsaws during this extreme fire condition. This morning, while firefighters and crews are actively working on the Wright Spring fire, a resident near Bluth Mountain cut off road and highway 140 east by using a chainsaw while doing fire prevention work around their property. The chainsaw started a new fire and it burned 1/4 of an acre. Thankfully, crews were able to respond to it and contain the fire. However, incident is a serious reminder of how quickly and simply sparks can become a wildfire. Mind you, Tampax, our governor, said not to send any more planes next to the giant-ass fire that's near me because she thought it was all out, because she's an idiot. Yeah, don't spray water on your weeds or dry grass. So apparently, CDC Director Walensky's husband received $5 million in HHS grants, and that's just the beginning. Apparently, they're starting to find more fraud slowly coming out. Can't bring the goats out. They might bite a rock and cause a fire. Don't you know everything will cause a fire? Fart wrong? Fire. Sneeze wrong? New fire. Well, I think it came so easy for fraud and corruption in the country to excel and spread. I just think people just bit into it and kept going. Come on, news, give me something. Right, the fire goats. I thought the backhoe was making that sound when it was spinning. I was like, that doesn't sound good. Oh, no, I see what it's doing.
More severe storm.
Well, they were talking about the Columbia stuff just a second ago. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it all to hell. But so, yeah, the fire next to me is only 5% contained. Still growing.
After taking a brief leave for the birth of her second child in May. Announcing the news, President Trump called Levitt one of his most trusted aides and added that she would continue to serve as an outside advisor. Levitt will depart at the end of this month. In sports news,
I don't care about sports. I don't care about sports. All right. I am out of here for a bit. I'm out of here. Allie jumped on because of that fire. I'll see about being back by 6. But I'm out of here for a little bit, folks. I will talk to you all. I will talk to you all soon. By 6, stuff's going on. I should be back. Probably with more stories. And then, if you guys want, as always, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, buy me a coffee, donate. Helps the show. Helps keep a roof over my head. Helps me want to do marathon streams. I'll see about the rest of you when I come back on later. Bye-bye, everybody.